Do you think Trump wins?
I mean, I'm terrible at political predictions, so I'm going to say yes. If you'd asked me 3 months ago, I don't know if I would have
It'd be
said it.
iffy.
Well, 3 months ago he was running against Biden, so I would have said yes then too. There were a couple of weeks after Kamala took over that seemed a little touch and go for the Trump campaign, but recently it seems like all the momentum's on his side.
Did you see the thing recently? I'm sure you probably talked about this already because you do the daily pod, but did you see the thing recently where Kamala, there was someone who yelled in the audience, "Jesus is Lord," and she was like, "You're at the wrong rally."
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, it's amazing.
Like, my question, why would you say that? Why would you be at the wrong? Why?
Well,
Would
I
that
guess
make
she was
you-
talking about abortion.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think their excuse is that, well, she wasn't referring to that. She just meant, but of course, it's true though. Like, if you think Jesus is Lord, you are. The Kamala Harris rally is not for you. It's amazing that she would say that out loud, and it kind of shows. I'm not amazed by the sentiment. I know she hates Christians, but I'm amazed that she's willing to say that because this woman just has no political instincts. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a politician, certainly in modern American history, who has worse political instincts than she does. She just has no sense. Whereas, and she's going against Trump, who, whatever else you want to say about him, the guy's got great. We haven't seen a politician in my lifetime who has better instincts than him. He just has a feel for like what works. And he does, he went to the McDonald's the other day and he was, serving fries for a few minutes and it just worked. It was like, it worked. It was funny. It was endearing. And so he's got a real good sense of that. And Kamala just has no sense for it at all, which is why I would think by all rights, she loses. I mean, if we still live in any kind of recognizable world, then by the rules of politics that have governed, the country up until this moment, by those rules, Trump should win. Like, for one thing, if you survive an assassination attempt while running for president, like in any other time in history, that alone should put you over the top. And then you take the second attempt and everything else too. He should win, but
Seems like he's run even on Polymarket too. I don't know if you follow that, but it was like neck and neck, and now he's like 66% in the lead.
yeah, yeah. Well, it doesn't.
I'm just
surprise
wondering
me.
if it's going to be the repeat where it's like this and it's like all the votes are counted.
That's why the disadvantage Trump's at is that he needs to win.
It's such a decisive manner.
Yeah, he needs to win, not just win, but he needs to win by a significant margin to avoid any of those kinds of scenarios. He could. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not a good political, like I said, I'm a terrible political prognosticator. So we could wake up the next day after the election and Kamala is won in some kind of electoral college landslide. Be
That would
surprised by that?
suck.
Yeah.
That would suck so
That would suck.
bad. Imagine having to watch Kamala for the next 4 years. Or we get to watch Trump just run shit for the next 4 years.
Man.
It would
suck so bad.
It would suck for a lot of reasons. Could happen though. It could happen. I mean,
No. That'd be bad.
but I can also see a world. I can see a world where Trump wins in a landslide, where these swing states just go to him, all go to him, and next thing you know, you're looking at not only he wins the popular vote, and maybe he's the first Republican presidential candidate to do that since, I don't know, in decades.
Yeah.
I don't know who's the last presidential candidate or Republican to win the popular vote, and also he wins the electoral college landslide. Like, that could happen. And if it does happen, then I think we'll all look back on it and say, well, of course that happened. Like, again, the guy survived an assassination attempt. He's running against Kamala Harris, one of the most unlikable presidential nominees we've ever seen. Obviously, he was going to win in a landslide. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Either way, do you think there's going to be some sort of outrage or unrest post-election?
100%, no
Yeah.
matter what.
Which one do you think would
I
be
think
worse?
worse if Trump wins.
If Trump
obviously.
wins, yeah.
You think
Look,
it's going to be worse?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
he had the
If he wins?
assassination attempt. People are crazy.
No, if
but
Trump loses.
if he loses, I don't think it'll be as bad as if he wins. The response from the people that don't like Trump's gonna be way worse.
Yeah, if he loses, I don't think that, I know on the left, it's, January 6th. And of course, they've massively inflated, as we all know, what that event really was. But even that wouldn't, like, the federal government has spent 4 years trying to find anyone who was even in the vicinity on January 6th and throw them in prison for as long as possible. And so the chance of anything like that happening a second time is basically non-existent. So I think if Trump loses, there will be no real I mean, a lot of us will be really upset, but we're not. There's not going to be mass rioting